Alright, so if the world wasn't already overly political enough, if everything basically that you're seeing on the TV and even here on my YouTube channel, because like I'm covering political topics as well, as if all that wasn't already like a problem enough, it appears that YouTubers, your favorite YouTubers, commentary YouTubers, drama YouTubers, people like me who just make these videos literally just talking on the internet, well, it turns out that we're not leftist enough, man. It turns out that we are not liberal enough, we are not leaning far enough to the left, and something needs to be done about it, man. Many of you are already thinking, well, Optimus, bro, like, what's the big deal? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, most of the time, you just come on here and, you know, you'll talk about something, you'll have a topic, you talk for 10 minutes. Even a lot of the time, it's nothing to do with anything that's, like, really important to the real world. You're just laughing at somebody who did something stupid, or you're making fun of a Karen, or you're reacting to some goofy video you saw on Twitter. And yeah, you know, that's what I thought too. I thought that, like, yeah, that's pretty much the basis of it. Occasionally, I'll cover something like the presidential election or something like that, and that's pretty much the end of it, man. But apparently that is wrong, and I'm being a bad dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm being a bad boy. I'm being bad for not covering more political topics and airing out my political beliefs more. So usually when I cover more politically based topics like the presidential election and things like that, I tend to try and keep my own personal political views out of things, unless it like directly correlates to the subject at hand. But, you know, apparently that's a bad thing, right? So I saw this clip on Twitter of somebody named Xander Hall, apparently, and he said something that I wanted to react to here because I think that it's completely stupid. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make the wild assumption here that this guy leans a little bit left politically, which is fine, right? I don't understand like why people get so worked up and hateful over political ideologies. Like, at the end of the day, your personal beliefs on things really oftentimes aren't that big of a deal, to be honest. Like, they really aren't that important. Like, sure, it's important to vote and whatnot, but dude, when it comes down to me getting on a fucking YouTube video and sharing my political beliefs, it really just isn't that important most of the time. Honestly, most people just simply don't care, and at the end of the day, it oftentimes is just a big waste of time because you don't actually make anyone think any differently, or you don't change the world in any significant way. But I want to go ahead and introduce you guys to the clip here, and then we'll start reacting to it from there. It's about a minute and a half long almost, and it's chock full of some stuff that I want to react to, so let's go ahead and get into it.
Leftists need to infiltrate the YouTube drama community. The YouTube drama community is at best marginally center left leaning, and at worst full on like reactionary alt right, like with Keemstar.
Okay, so we got that statement right there. You know what I'm saying? We need to infiltrate the YouTube drama scene. We need to speak to these creators who, at best, are marginally left, center left, or they're alt-right like Keemstar. That's something that I've heard a lot. I've heard a lot of people say that Keemstar is alt-right. Like, it's almost like a buzz term that they use to describe Keemstar. But I just want to go ahead and say this. Okay, you know what? I tend to lean a little center left, right? Okay, this guy maybe a little spot on with that. Let's go ahead and consider the following here, all right? Not everyone has to be in the same political ideology that you are, okay? Not everyone has to think just like you. That's something that most people realize, right? Like, we're like, hey, people can have fundamentally different beliefs. They've had different life experiences that have led them to come to different conclusions. That's acceptable, and especially in a community that is relatively non-political pretty much all the time, and like most people in this community make their living reacting to a Karen getting upset or talking about the latest YouTube drama. You would think in a community like that, it literally wouldn't matter at all, but apparently it's a very big deal. But apparently it's such a big deal that the community needs to be quote-unquote infiltrated. Like, it's being spoken as if it's like some like tight-knit group where like no outsiders are allowed in. Nobody can get behind the big red curtain of the commentary community. You know, we're all just sitting in here, the ones of us that have made it, and you know, we got our arms around each other. It's like, all right, guys, what right-wing policies are we gonna promote on our channels today? Like, it really doesn't matter whatsoever, but it's being treated as if like it's the most important possible thing to do, when it really just doesn't even make any sense to do it.
There is not any leftist representation in the YouTube drama sphere, and I plan on getting into that quite hard. When there is YouTube drama happening, like non-political YouTube drama happening, I'm going to worm my way into that shit, and I'm going to give my takes on it. I'm going to try to build myself into that community.
Have you ever considered the reason that there's no quote-unquote leftist representation, especially in the YouTube commentary and drama communities, is because politics in general just have no fucking real business in that sector? Like, you're basically making this statement of like, there's nobody who plays football in this reading book club. I plan to infiltrate it and teach them the ideologies of football. They will learn the shotgun formation. They're gonna understand how to blitz with the best of them. Like, dude, it doesn't have anything to fucking do what these people are doing. Why is that the one thing out of the community that you're trying to, like, kind of pin people on, right? It's like their political ideologies. How many commentary channels do you know make political content? If you completely disregard political commentary, which is basically what he's already done. I'm gonna keep it a $1.50 here with you. People who are more worried about which YouTuber is bad today or what drama to talk about today, they're probably not that fucking worried about universal single-payer healthcare or anything like that. They probably don't really give a shit about that. And if they do, they go, oh hey, this has nothing to do with my channel. I'm not gonna say anything about it. I don't know if you know that's a possibility or like you accept that that's kind of the reality of the situation here, but most of us don't care about politics. And the ones of us that do, you know, mention it in passing or mention it when the topic comes up, there's people of all different types of beliefs. Like, I have openly supported candidates like Andrew Yang. I have publicly supported movements like Black Lives Matter, which was primarily a left-leaning movement. I was put on a fucking internet list, okay, by some person because of my support for BLM. What do you mean that there's no leftist representation? Like, dog, there doesn't have to be, because shockingly enough, most of us who do actually pay attention to politics in this community, we don't make it a fucking personality trait. And I think that's a big problem with people today now, as is. They make their political beliefs such a big personality trait that they allow it to define who they are as human beings. And, you know, usually those are the people who aren't really that grounded in reality. Those are the weirdos. Those are the people who are impossible to talk to and be around. So that's not a good thing, bro.
I'm going to be building bridges with other non-political YouTubers. You've seen me trying to do it with, I've done it with JXC, I'd say. I'm trying to do it with Long Beach Griffey. I'm going to be doing it with other non-political YouTubers.
So what I'm hearing is you're going to basically only try and befriend commentary YouTubers who, for the most part, aren't political whatsoever. You're only going to befriend them in order to boost your own talking points, in order to basically just benefit yourself. You're not going to try and get close to these people or get into this community because you care about anything they're talking about. You're not going to try and get into this community to really try and be cool with these people. You're only going to do this in order to bring politics into shit where it doesn't need to be brought into. Like, if you can fully explain to me why drama YouTubers should give a shit and talk about politics on their channels that have nothing to do with politics, never have had anything to do with politics, literally just places where they upload content talking about other YouTubers and what they're doing, maybe then you can try and make a point, but you can't adequately even bring that up. Like, there's no adequacy to any of that argument because at the end of the day, it's fucking stupid and pointless because most people in this community, once again, do not give a shit about anything you have to say. So at this point, all you're doing is looking like a fucking weirdo and you're telling me, oh, hey, if this guy ever comes around, yeah, just ignore him. Don't talk to him because he's just gonna try and insert some political ideology into your friendship and make it all about that. So don't talk to this fucking guy. I think this clip is gonna end up actually doing the exact opposite of what you want it to do, because now, as people see this and they realize what you're doing, bro, they're just gonna be like, yeah, I don't want to talk to this guy.
That is good. This is a win. I will do everything in my power when I am large enough to try to get him on my channel for a talk. That would be a big win. That would be a big win.
Like, this is giving me the energy of that kid who would come into foods class and just start arguing about politics while everybody's trying to do their fucking thing. You know, just the class has nothing to do with this. Like, no one's talking about it, but they come in and bring it up and make a big scene. That's all this really gives me in terms of the vibe, so. Dude, what the fuck are you talking about, you know? Okay, it's one thing to be excited because, you know, maybe like a big YouTuber you look up to followed you. I've been extremely excited in the past when big creators and even like big artists outside of that have followed me and things like that and watched me and I've talked to them because, you know, I've looked up to them for years. That type of shit. But bro, when you're flexing, you know, like Mudahar here, who I've talked to several times personally, you know what I'm saying? When you're flexing a follow of his on Twitter, under the only pretense of it like mattering to you being the fact that you're going to try and manipulate him and quote unquote infiltrate the commentary community to get people like Mudahar on your channel to talk about fucking politics, not only does that come off extremely weird and cringy, but it comes off as extremely disingenuous. Because at the end of the day, Mutahar is a really cool person. Like, and I'm not just saying that. I've talked to Mutahar several times. He is a fucking dope person. He's one of my favorite people on YouTube. I've had 0 political discussions with him, and I'm assuming at the end of the day, considering the fact that he lives in Canada and not the United States as well, it's really not something he gives a fuck about. Or if he does, once again, he does not make it part of his YouTube career and personality, because at the end of the day, it does not matter for a creator like him to do anything. It doesn't matter if Mutahar comes out and makes leftist videos, okay? It just comes off weird, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna be excited because someone has followed you, especially on like Twitter, it should be because they followed you and you enjoy them, not because I'm going to use them to infiltrate the community. Like, bro, this fool sounds like a fucking Dragon Ball villain, you know what I'm saying? It sounds like after the Moro arc here in the manga, we're gonna have Xanderthal show up on fucking Earth after everybody's trying to heal up. I'm going to infiltrate the Z fighters and convert them all to leftism. Like, I'm going to make them extremely left-leaning. I haven't seen enough leftist representation in the Z fighters. I think Piccolo's pretty alt-right. Like, bro, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like, get over yourself, you know what I'm saying? So, it's extremely stupid, and this is the kind of stuff that makes me just wonder, like, bro, is this really the best use of your time, you know what I'm saying? Trying to fucking infiltrate the YouTube community that cares nothing about what you're about to try and do so you can quote-unquote convert them and make them fucking come on your channel for a talk? So I just thought that was weird. I mean, I know a lot of you are going to be very upset by this news. Your favorite YouTubers are not left-leaning enough, you know what I'm saying? I need to come on here every single day and tell you new facts about Bernie Sanders and all kinds of different leftist ideologies and beliefs. And we're going to go ahead, man, and I'm telling you what, we're going to convert you guys, all right? So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at Optimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. Thank you to my channel members. Your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus. Well, I guess not leftist enough. And signing out.